Hello and a very warm welcome back to the garden. This is part 3 of our seed sowing update. In this video I'm going to show you what we do now to prepare our plants for outdoors. We've finally reached May. May is a wonderful month. It's the start of that lovely weather that we're going to get, and for many people it's the time when the frost is no longer present. Where we live in the UK, in the northwest, we have to wait until the end of May before we're clear of frost. And what we do now when it gets to the beginning of May is harden our plants off. So that is just basically getting them ready for their life outdoors. So where are we up to? These are the tomato plants which were sown, and as you can see they've been transplanted in the previous video, and this is where they're up to now. They've been growing on our kitchen window ledge from the moment we planted the seed up until this moment, and now what we're going to be doing is bringing those outdoors in the daytime and bringing them back indoors during the evening and night. And this is a process called hardening off. And it's basically a technique or a process whereby you are acclimatizing plants that are grown under sheltered conditions, so that meaning indoors, and getting them ready for their life outside. So plants like these, they haven't experienced rain, for example, so they don't know what rain feels like on their leaves. They haven't really experienced wind, apart from having an open window, which is not particularly windy. And they haven't been exposed to bright sunlight. Our kitchen window ledge is pretty much, it's got a bit of sun, but it's not direct sun. So there's lots of conditions that these haven't experienced yet. And if we were to place these directly outdoors, plant them out, they're going to go into shock because they're not used to that kind of environment. So what we do is we bring them out during the day, take them back in during the evenings and the nights. And then what happens then, over a period of 2 or 3 weeks, we do that continuously, and then they're ready towards the end of May for us to be planting outside in their final positions. So that's the tomatoes, and the same for the cosmos. So this is one of the varieties of cosmos that we've sown. This is Antiquity, and it's not been that successful, to be honest, this year. They have been very slow, and I have sown some more as time's gone on, but these were the original sowings. These ones that are now got their true leaves, they were pricked out into the module trays, and these ones were just sown individually. So that was the Antiquity. And again, the same process applies. These are going to come out during the day and go back in during the night. If you're lucky enough to have a cold frame, this is now the time when you'll be taking them into the cold frame, and you'll be leaving that lovely ventilation window open during the daytime, and then closing them up snug in the evening and the night time, and then again open during the day, closed during the night. And this is just what we need to do to make sure they don't go into shock. We also need to make sure when we do bring them out that they're not going into direct sunlight, because these plants have not experienced that full sun yet, and what will happen is they will get scorched by the bright sun if they're in direct sunlight. So put them somewhere in a bit more of a shadier spot to begin with, and then just gradually, as the weeks progress and we get into maybe 2-3 weeks, we can then be putting them into more sunshine as time goes on, and that will just help to get them ready for their final planting positions, which for tomatoes and the cosmos will be a sunny situation. We do have a full video on the hardening off process, so I'll put a link to it on the screen and also in the description if you want to take a look at that as well. That just goes a bit more in depth of what I've just shown you now. On the next video I will be showing you when we plant these out into their final positions. Obviously we have far too many tomatoes for this garden, so a lot of them will be going off to family and friends, but we will be planting some of these out into our veg bed and maybe into containers as well. So that's the next process, and that'll be the next video. That'll be part 4. So I'll leave the video there. I do hope you found this informative and enjoyable. I do hope you've been following the process through. I will put a link to the other 2 videos as well in the description, so you can see the progression of plants from seed up to this point. Please hit that like button, please hype, Please subscribe. If you do have any comments, drop those in the comments box below the video, and we will see you very soon on the next one. In the meantime, please do take care, and as always, happy gardening.